the Denver Broncos are missing a crucial roster piece, that young quarterback with franchise upside. This time last year, the Broncos thought they might have two such signal callers in former first-rounder Paxton Lynch and 2017 Mr. Irrelevant Chad Kelly. By summer's end, though, the team had become completely disillusioned with Lynch, cutting him on the doorstep of the regular season. Denver could afford to do so, as Kelly had produced a sensational preseason body of work, earning the No. 2 job on the depth chart. Alas, even Kelly's precarious position as that young gunslinger with upside was eventually dislodged, following his arrest on Halloween night. The Broncos cut bait with Kelly less than 24 hours later. As it stands, the best the Broncos have in terms of youth at the quarterback position are the journeyman Kevin Hogan and Garrett Grayson, but neither have shown any franchise propensity since arriving in the NFL's mid-round draft picks of other teams. No, the Broncos are lacking that guy to plan around for the future, and GM John Elway would be wise to fill that roster hole in the 2019 NFL Draft. Joe Flacco is 34 years old after all. Holding the number 10 overall pick this year, many fans want the Broncos to draft a quarterback, like Missouri's Drew Lock or Ohio State's Dwayne Haskins. But why spend a top-10 pick on a QB when the Broncos might be able to get a franchise guy for the price of a second-rounder? The Arizona Cardinals hold the No. 1 overall pick, and despite having drafted Josh Rosen 10th overall last year, the team has reportedly seriously considering Oklahoma's Kyler Murray atop the 2019 draft. Publicly, new head coach Cliff Kingsbury says all the right things with regard to Rosen and the former UCLA product's security with the Cardinals franchise. Privately, the belief is that Kingsbury is pining to be reunited with Murray, arguably the perfect fit to run his air raid offense. However, if the Cardinals are going to draft Murray at No. 1 overall, they'll need to first find a landing spot for Rosen. The NFL draft is coming. Don't miss any breaking news or in-depth analysis on the Broncos. Sign up for our free newsletter, and get every breaking story delivered to your inbox. When Rosen's name was first bandied about publicly as being potentially on the trading block, the buzz was that although the Cardinals were hoping for a first-round pick in exchange, the best they'd likely find on the market was a third-rounder. Even though Rosen is less than a year removed from being a top-10 pick himself, NFL teams know that the Cardinals have painted themselves into a corner. If Murray is the pick, the Cardinals have no choice but to deal Rosen, which limits his trade value. GMs are always looking to leverage the desperation of their counterparts around the league. John Elway would be wise to pick up the phone and exploit Arizona's torment by offering a 2020 second-round pick in exchange for Josh Rosen. Perhaps the Cardinals will demand a 2019 second-rounder, in which case, the Broncos' number 40 overall selection this year becomes even more valuable. It's almost a first-rounder. Most draftniks are of the opinion that if Rosen had waited to declare for the draft this year, he'd be widely viewed as the No. 1 signal caller in the class. If that's not worth a second-round pick for a QB of the future to void team like the Broncos, I don't know what is. Here's the rub, though. John Elway was reportedly turned off by Rosen during the pre-draft process last year and in fact passed on him at pick No. 5 to take Bradley Chubb. Well, that's when Rosen would have cost Elway a top 5 pick to take him. Not so this time around. The tables have turned. If there's a solid chance Denver could get their hands on Josh Rosen in exchange for a second-round pick, even a top 40 selection, it would be well worth the investment. Rosen is a talented passer and a cerebral quarterback, the likes of which the Broncos haven't had since Peyton Manning. The catch is that Rosen's personality can be off-putting to some. However, by acquiring Rosen via trade, the Broncos would control him through the duration of Joe Flacco's remaining contract. By the time Flacco's deal runs out, he'll be nearing 38, and although this year his contract is bearable, next year it balloons to $20.25 million, followed by $24.25 million in 2021. Meanwhile, Rosen would arguably serve as an immediate upgrade, would push Flacco for a starting job, and come at a fraction of the cost in 2020 and beyond, if indeed Rosen vanquished Flacco for the starting job. Acquiring Rosen would cross the QB need off the list for Elway, completely freeing him up to take the best blue-chip prospect at No. 10 in a couple weeks' time. Elway could serve up that coveted defensive playmaker to Vic Fangio, without feeling the pangs of regret for kicking the QB can down the road another year. I can understand Elway's reticence to invest a top 5 pick in him a year ago, if Josh Rosen indeed rubbed him the wrong way. But a second-rounder. Make that deal, John.